This video is brought to you by Raycon.
Shohei Ohtani is absolutely dominating baseball on both sides of the field. Freak level pitching, bombs to the moon. And unfortunately, because of this two-way dominance and an unfair rule in baseball, it's going to cost him the home run title. At the time of this video, Shohei Ohtani has 36 home runs, ahead of Vlad Jr. and Tatis Jr. No, the rule that your dad has to be an ex-major leaguer with the same name isn't what's against Shohei. Ohtani also has a pitching record of 5-1 and a 3.04 ERA. His dominance all over the field is unheard of. And adding a home run title along with a solid pitching season and an MVP would be incredible, but all of this comes with a cost. The DH rule was instituted in 1973 and fittingly is what has enabled Shohei Ohtani to hit bombs like this. But ultimately, it's going to be his Achilles heel. When Ohtani isn't pitching, he's able to use less effort by batting for his lesser-enabled teammates and crushing piss rockets to the moon. In Shohei's career, when he's batting, he has played the majority of it as a DH. And has never started a game as an outfielder. He has played in the outfield, but we'll get to that later. So where does he get screwed? The biggest and most unfair thing about the DH rule actually comes into play when Shohei is pitching. Unfortunately, Ohtani cannot DH for himself. Wait, he can hit for himself, but not hit for himself? Yes, you heard that correctly. What I mean by that is that when Ohtani is done pitching, he cannot remain in the game as a DH. When he pitches, there is no DH. A player simply cannot be in the lineup in two positions. So, how does this affect the home run chase? It means unless Ohtani stays in the game by going to another position on the field when he's already exhausted from pitching, it's gonna cost him at bats, and those missing at bats could cost him the home run title. Let's look at the math. In 2021, Shohei is averaging 5.33 innings a start. Well, if he gets pulled and doesn't play in the field, he could lose 1 to 2 at-bats per pitching start. Extrapolated over a season, that could be as low as 30 at-bats and as high as 60 missing trips to the box. Given that he homers 1 every 9.44 at-bats, that could be anywhere from 2 to 6 home runs that him pitching actually costs him. This is something Tatis, Guerrero, or any other position player doesn't have to worry about, and it's a huge advantage for them in terms of the home run race. But there are still some more facts and numbers to crunch. So let's look at what has actually happened when Ohtani has pitched and see if the rule and his usage has affected his home run total. I went through every one of his pitching starts, and let me tell you, the data is really interesting. And yeah, both the rules and his manager have affected his batting stats. In 3 of his pitching starts, Ohtani was actually DH'd for, but this was earlier in the year when they still had Albert Pujols. Still though, that cost him 12 plate appearances. On only 3 of his pitching starts did he remain in the game as a fielder. But that only saved him 4 at-bats, and in one of those games he was replaced defensively, and that cost him an extra plate appearance he'd normally get if he was a DH. And for the overwhelmingly majority of his starts on the mound, Ohtani was pulled and missed out on more at-bat. To his credit though, in 2 starts he was able to pitch 7 innings, and he did not miss any plate appearances / at-bats. Fair enough, Shohei, you earned your trips. But here's where the data gets most interesting. Overall, him leaving early in his pitching starts, or his team electing to DH for him, has cost Ohtani 26 plate appearances up to this point in the season. Extrapolated over an entire season, that's around 40 trips to the plate Ohtani will be missing. And we say he homers about once every 9.44 at-bats. Well, all these shenanigans are going to cost Shohei 4.23 home runs. The injustice. But wait a minute. Let's compare Ohtani to Tatis and Guerrero, his main competition. Ohtani actually has more plate appearances than Tatis, who missed some time to injury in May. But when you look at Guerrero, he's already at 411 plate appearances to Ohtani's 387. That's 24 more chances at a tater than Ohtani. Vlad is freaking padding his stats, man. So from a pure numbers standpoint, the rule and Shohei's pitching has conclusively put him at a disadvantage against his competition. Case closed. But I will share one more piece of data at the end of this video that will make you rethink that a little bit. So how do we make this wrong, right? Perhaps the DH could be changed so that Ohtani can DH for himself. It doesn't just affect him, but it also punishes the Angels for having a pitcher who can do it all, even if Ohtani stays in the game as a fielder, because the pitcher that enters the game still has to bat or get pinch hit for when his slot comes up in the order. The way the rules work, the Angels become a National League team when Ohtani is on the mound. Ultimately, this is a choice the Angels have made in enabling a two-way player to do his thing. Does it make sense to change a near 50-year-old rule because some freak of nature should be allowed to DH for himself? No, probably not. He's only one guy. And you could just consider that karma for the Angels, who are wasting Mike Trout's entire career. Shohei might still win the home run crown anyways, by hitting lots of home runs. And yes, the DH rule has cost him some plate appearances, but I will leave you with this bombshell. Ohtani has only homered once in games he has pitched this year, and that was his first start of the year. In the end, maybe he doesn't miss those at-bats he's missing.
I know you don't want to hear this, but it's almost time to go back to school. Or if you're like me, paying for some ungrateful little tuition. Just kidding, he's a good kid. But with the cost of education going up so high, the one area you can save on is giving your student high-quality, affordable earbuds at half the cost of other premium audio brands. I know my kid is going to need them to drown out obnoxious people on his dorm room floor, or my other kid needs them on long bus rides. I'll need them to cancel out the silence of my empty house. Either way, having batteries with a 32-hour life, seamless Bluetooth pairing, and comfortable gel-tip fits make Raycons the smart choice. Snoop Dogg wears them, and he's taken many people to school. So after this video, click on the link below and go to buyraycon.com/5points and get 15% off your order. They even come with a 45-day happiness guarantee. Again, that's buyraycon.com/5points from the link below. Brought to you by Raycon.